welcome to the Wembley Conference Centre. Well, today we've got something a little bit special for you. It's a type of gymnastics that's not often seen on our screens, and that's rhythmic gymnastics. It's a very graceful and beautiful sport to watch, and it's packed with spectacular skills for you to marvel at. We've got some of the top gymnasts in the world here with us today, but at the moment, with me is our own former British champion in 83-84, Jackie Levy. Jackie, thanks for joining us. Now, for the people that aren't probably too familiar with rhythmic gymnastics, just tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the girls today will do 4 routines: rope, hoop, ball and ribbon. They're done to music. They last about 1.5 minutes. They pack the routines with throws, catches, pivots, all sorts of body movements, and it's all marked out of 10.
Well, I think that sums it up, Jackie. Now, we have Bianca Panova with us, the Bulgarian. She's number 2 in the world. If she doesn't make any mistakes, she's likely to come number 1 in this competition. But who's her biggest rival here today?
I think probably the Russian girl, Kostina. She came 5th in the recent World Championships. She's a little girl, new find from Russia, great to watch, and I think she'll be pushing Panova very hard indeed.
Jackie, thank you very much. Well, we go over to the first exercises in just a few moments, but here's a brief explanation on what a good hoop routine is all about.
Well, there's a few things for you to look out for in the hoop exercises, but the first girl we'll see is Oksana Kostina of the Soviet Union. Jackie, what can you tell us about Kostina?
Well, Kostina's a new find for the Soviets. She took part in the recent World Championships, did really well in 5th position, and she's only young, very strong on this piece of apparatus.
Oksana Kostina. Jackie, you said she was strong on this piece. How do you think she'll score?
I think she'll do very well on that. It was an excellent routine, but I think that last move where the hoop slipped off her foot was a drop. She covered it up very well, though. Only a 0.1 deduction, I would have thought, on that.
She did. Just take us through this slow motion piece, because she had some nice movements in that routine.
Yep, that's a lovely roll there of the hoop. She's a very strong gymnast, very precise on the throws and catches, and she's done very well. An excellent start for her, 9.75. Lovely extension on that throw. Great gymnast to watch.
You should be pleased with that score, 9.75. Here's the lady most people probably have been waiting for. From Bulgaria, Bianca Panova, 2nd in the world.
Yep, she's probably the most famous rhythmic gymnast in the world, the most technically perfect gymnast Bulgaria have ever produced. Trains in Sofia with a national coach, Neshka Rabeva. Everybody looks up to Panova.
Bianca Panova. Well, Jackie, as the famous author Jim Prestige once said, that must be one of the greatest sporting moments in time. It really was a beautiful routine.
Certainly was, Suzanne. It's difficult to see where the judges are going to take any marks off her at all for that. The throws were absolutely perfect. She didn't have to step out of line for any of the catches. She makes it all look so easy. She is, of course, one of the most experienced gymnasts in the competition, so she should make it look easy. And there's her score, 9.9. She couldn't have wished for a better start. And that lovely acrobatic move to catch.
Well, I wouldn't like to follow that, but Atha Liberio from Spain is going to have to, one of the youngest competitors in this competition.
Spain have got a great tradition in this sport. They're coached by a Bulgarian who's been over there for the last 10 years and has really brought them up through the ranks of rhythmic gymnastics. And here's one of their most promising juniors, now in the senior competition, on a very strong piece of apparatus for her.
Liberio from Spain. Jackie, very different from what we've already seen.
Yeah, it certainly was very fast and furious. I feel quite sorry for the Spanish gymnasts because the coaches choreograph such difficult routines. They really don't have time to catch their breath. All the throws and catches are extremely difficult, and she's got to concentrate all the way through that. Look at that flick off the foot, which demands great accuracy for the catch. And there's her score, 9.5. Great start for her.
And here's the British number one, Viva Seifert.
She wasn't around for this year's British Championships because she was away training in Bulgaria. She stayed there for 6 months and came back a new gymnast almost, now ranked number one in Britain. She's really sharpened up over the last few months, and this is really the first time that the British audience have seen Viva in action since she's been back from Sofia. And there, a drop on the very first throw. I think that's probably just nerves though.
Very graceful, lovely-looking gymnast. Do you think she's going to be a bit disappointed with that drop at the beginning?
Well, I think she recovered from it really well. I mean, it was only a 0.1 drop. She went through the rest of the routine very, very confidently. She looked very sharp on all the throws and all the catches. She's an extremely original gymnast. She makes all the moves up herself, and when she was in Bulgaria, all the Bulgarian team were queuing up for her to make up some new moves for them. So that says a great deal about our British gymnasts.
Very promising.
And that's an excellent throw there, flick off the foot, and that she'll gain extra marks for originality, because you don't often see that. And that's a good score for her, 9.3. She shouldn't be too disappointed with that.
Well, there you go, the results of the hoop exercise. Bianca Panova from Bulgaria, 9.9, and Oksana Kostina from Russia, just behind with 9.75. Well, there you are. You can see the girls warming up for the next exercise, the rope. But before the first girl takes the floor, let's find out just what you should be watching for. To take the floor with the rope is Bianca Panova. She took the gold medal in the World Championships for this exercise. Should be expecting a good routine, Jackie.
Actually, this is her least favourite piece of apparatus, Suzanne, because it's the piece of apparatus that she really messed up in the European Championships a year ago, and that was the first time that anyone had ever seen Panova make a mistake in a major international, and it was really the beginning of her downfall, as it were. But now she's back right at the top of the tree, so let's see how this routine goes.
Well, Jackie, it's very easy to see why she took the gold medal at the World Championships. Different style altogether with that routine.
Yes, it's much more lively, a much faster routine. I think it's probably the easiest exercise out of the whole lot from Panova. I think she's always got that thing in the back of her mind that she did make a big mistake on this exercise once in the European Championship. So she simplified it right down so she can go out and enjoy the exercise and get the crowd behind her.
Well, there's one of the other gymnasts looking quite astounded with this routine.
That was an excellent throw there with the acrobatic move to catch. And there's her score, another 9.9 for Panova. She'll be pleased with that one.
And next to take the floor is Lenka Olelova from Czechoslovakia.
She's a really new and young member of the Czechoslovakian team. I haven't actually seen her work before, so this should be interesting. The Czechoslovakians are dying to find somebody to replace their old world champion, Daniela Bashanska, who retired a few years ago, and this might just be the girl to do it.
Blenka Olelova. Well, Jackie, is this the young lady to replace Gzanska, the retired Czechoslovakian champion, maybe?
I think she might well be, Suzanne. I think the thing to notice about her, she's got absolutely brilliant split leaps, very, very extended. She's obviously very supple in the legs, making the most of those very long legs there. And very well performed as well. 9.55 for her, the second highest mark of the day on rope.
And next to take the floor is the young Russian, Oksana Kostina.
Be interesting to see what she does on this exercise. It's quite often the Bulgarians who've got all the originality on rope, and the Russians churn out fairly boring rope routines. So let's see what she does on this one.
Oksana Kostina from Russia. Jackie, very different and very dramatic, far from boring as well.
I take it all back, Suzanne. That was packed with originality, masses of difficult throws as well in that. A very, very good choreography. I always think drum music is very good news when it comes to rope routines because it makes them be so precise with the choreography. But she had masses of originality packed in there as well. I particularly like this throw where the ropes open all the way because that's so difficult to control, and she packs in a turn on the floor as well to catch. That was lovely control on that particular movement there. 9.75 for her. Not a bad score.
Okay, well, Bianca's second score of 9.9 is easily good enough to win the rope. And again, Oksana Kostina is second with 9.75. So, no doubt about the leaders then after two exercises. Panova in first, Kostina in second, and Liberio holding on to third overall. And our own girl, Viva Seafoot, in sixth place. Well, we'll be back after the break with the ball exercises, but before that, here's a different angle on the performances so far. Melina Ralin from Yugoslavia.
She's been the Yugoslavian national champion for the last 9 years, no less. They haven't really found anyone to replace her yet, so this probably will be her last competition before she retires from the international scene. I actually made my international debut with this girl, sort of way back in the year 18 or whatever it was.
Ralin from Yugoslavia. Very experienced gymnast, Jackie.
Yes, she is, and she performs very, very competently with ball, very, very safe routine. I think it lacks a bit in risk and originality, and she also has tremendous problems with her back these days, so she's not as supple as she used to be. Nevertheless, a very good routine from her.
Competitor number 8 is next. She is from Czechoslovakia.
She's so experienced, she's got all the choreography, very, very, very precise, down to a fine art almost. Very rarely makes a mistake, and 9.4 for her. Good score.
And here's our own British girl, Viva Seifert, with the ball exercise. Let's hope that she doesn't make a mistake with this routine, as she unfortunately did in the hoop exercises.
Should be a good routine, Suzanne. This is her favourite exercise, the ball. She's had a lot of help with the choreography from Irina Venner, who's a Russian coach who's over here coaching the British national team at the moment. So it should be a good one.
Viva Seifert. Jackie, a beautiful routine. She's obviously worked very hard on it. The crowd obviously loved that.
That's probably the best ball routine I've ever seen a British girl do. Masses of difficulties. You've got 3 risk elements in there, which you must include if you want the bonus marks for risk in rhythmic gymnastics. Performed it all beautifully. Lots of supple movements, which you heard the crowd go wild over. She couldn't have performed that any better, really. Controlled it very, very well.
4-0. Second highest in this round 3.
And there's one of those risk elements. Risky catch behind the back. 9.4 for her. Excellent score.
And next in the ball exercises is Bianca Panova from Bulgaria. This is one of her strongest pieces of apparatus, so we're expecting to see a good routine here.
She's one of these gymnasts that's almost technically perfect with a ball exercise. Throws and catches very, very crisp, and you never see her catch a ball with 2 hands, always one-handed.
Bianca Panova from Bulgaria, she really is superb, Jackie. It's very difficult to find fault anywhere in her routines.
Yep, technically very, very strong. She got 3 beautiful balances in there, which you must include in a ball exercise, all very well held. She makes it all look so easy as well.
Lovely interpretation of the music as well, beautifully choreographed.
Very, very smooth routine. There's no jerks anywhere. And there's one of those lovely, very, very well held balances, followed by a double pirouette. And she controls the ending so well. Finishes everything in a balance. And there's a difficult throw. Traps the ball in her knees to finish. Another 9.9 for her. She's on excellent form.
And a chance now to see our other girl, Debbie Southwick, the youngest girl in this competition, just 13 years of age.
Debbie's a real find for the British team, Suzanne. She's only been doing rhythmic gymnastics for about 2 years, and she really has a perfect physique for the sport. Very thin, very long legs, and very, very supple, as you'll see in this routine.
Debbie Southwick. Well, Jackie, considering this is the first time she's ever appeared at Wembley, I thought she'd performed that wonderfully.
That was a beautiful routine, Suzanne. She's such a tremendous prospect, this girl. She's got such tremendous potential. When the Russian coach came over and saw Debbie, she almost rubbed her hands in glee because she's so easy to work with. And you can almost see sort of touches of Russian in her routine. And that's a great score for her, 9.25. I'm sure she'll be thrilled with that score.
So, Panova and Kostina in first and second place again. But Viva Sifa just keeps getting better. This time she's tied for 4th place. Overall, she's climbed a place 2 and she's now in 5th. But up at the top, it doesn't look as though anyone can catch Bianca Panova. Well, after the break, it's the most spectacular and probably the most difficult exercise, the ribbon. So there's still time for things to change. Don't go away. And here now with her ribbon exercise is Lenka Oleleva from Czechoslovakia.
We've already seen her perform today once on rope. I'd like to see a bit more strength in her choreography on this one. So we'll see how it goes. that was a bad catch there after the illusion turn throw. Wasn't a drop, but she'll still lose 0.1 for that fluffy catch. Now that was a bad drop. She got in a tangle. It could be at least 0.2 off there. She needs to get this routine together.
Well, Jackie, I don't think the young lady will be pleased with that. I don't really think she regained her composure after those two bad mistakes.
No, she didn't, Suzanne. She seemed to run out of steam halfway through this routine. And what I was saying earlier about showing more strength in her choreography, she just didn't do it. There wasn't the strength there. She looked like she's almost at the end of her tether almost. Nevertheless, still absolutely brilliant split leaps. I think that was just a small lack of concentration on her part. Her score, 9.15.
Well, those mistakes made by Alelova will surely give Viva Seifert a great chance in this competition. There she is backstage, and she must know by now that if she can put in a good performance, she can really beat some of the best gymnasts in the world. And here now with her ribbon exercise is Oksana Kostina from Russia. Jackie, I must just ask, I've noticed the gymnasts, they all change their leotards.
Yes, they do in rhythmic gymnastics. It's a sort of peculiar little quirk, if you like, of the sport, that you always try and make your leotard match the apparatus, because artistic impression is all very important. Mind you, she's been wearing different sorts of black leotards all afternoon, and my theory on this, Suzanne, is that she's been eating a little bit too much after the recent World Championships, and she's perhaps gained a few pounds.
It's always a good colour, black. Nicely performed routine there, Jackie. I must say, I didn't enjoy the music. I found it very sort of messy and confusing.
Yeah, sometimes to use just piano music can be quite dramatic. I think maybe she lost out a bit there because she's got a great personality, which is quite unusual for a Russian girl. They're usually so stern. And she doesn't really make the most of it with this music, because you can use two instruments now in rhythmic gymnastics, which I think adds a bit to the routine. Lots of difficult throws in there, though. Excellent catches. Best score of the day for her, 9.8. She'll be pleased with that.
Well, let's see what the Spanish girl can do, Atha Liberio, with her ribbon exercise. Martha Liberio from Spain. Very appropriate, I say, Jackie, the music, and very nice to perform. She looked like she enjoyed that.
Yep, she's got a great personality, this girl. I think probably to be a really great gymnast, though, she needs to tighten up on those legs. She doesn't really like pointing her toes all that much, does she? They're a little bit messy. But very, very well performed. It was a difficult routine, and she's obviously got a good temperament for gymnastics. She's made no mistakes at all today, even though her exercises have probably been one of the most difficult in the competition.
Well, there she is, and you're probably right about those toes, Jackie. 9.45 she scored, which is her lowest score of the day. Next to take the floor, then, is from Yugoslavia, Melina Relin.
And this is her last performance of the day on ribbon. It could be her last performance on the international arena altogether, because she performed in the recent World Championships in Yugoslavia as the Yugoslavian national champion, threatened to make that her last competition, but agreed to come here to Wembley for one last fling. That's a bad mistake from her. Could be up to 0.3 deduction for that drop.
Melina Relin from Yugoslavia. Bad mistake there, Jackie. Going to lose quite a few points.
Yeah, I think she probably will. It was a very, very messy drop, and it's something you don't often see from her. She's usually so consistent. Very, very rarely makes a mistake because she's such an experienced gymnast. Didn't really bother her though, did it? She carried on. No further mistakes after that. And there's a difficult double forward roll with a ribbon. Difficult because it's hard to get the ribbon to go high enough to fit the two forward rolls in, but she manages beautifully on that. Didn't lose too much though, 9.45 her score.
And next to take the floor is our own British girl, Viva Seafoot. Now, she only needs 9.45 to finish fourth, and if she does that, she will be beating 2 of the top 10 gymnasts in the world. So let's hope that she can hold this together.
Difficult exercise for her to finish on. She's got some very, very difficult pirouettes in this routine where she catches her legs at the back. The Russian coach, though, gave her 10 in training for this exercise, so let's hope it goes as well here in the competition. And that's a silly mistake. Pushed the ribbon too far away from her on that small release and catch. And another bad mistake from Viva. Silly drop there because the ribbon was in the right place, just completely fluffed the catch. I'm wondering if the lights at Wembley are a bit bright, because we've seen a few mistakes like that so far in the ribbon today.
Well, Jackie, I'm sure she's going to be disappointed. She had a chance and it looks like she's thrown it away. There was two very bad mistakes there. Is it possible that she can still score 9.45?
I very much doubt it, Suzanne. That means that the judges would have to have given her 9.65 because she'll lose 0.2 for those drops. And I think there was also a place in the middle where she had a slight tangle where the ribbon brushed her body, and she'll lose for that also. And there's the very bad start that she had. The ribbon stick was just too far away from her for her to catch it. And then on this second throw, the ribbon a bit too far to the left. She has to really stretch and doesn't quite make it. Bad mistake there from Viva. Her score 9.25. Not bad considering she had 3 errors in that routine. She's quite lucky on that.
And to finish off the competition, from Bulgaria, Bianca Panova. She's been leading all the way through this competition, so it's very unlikely anyone beating her. She only needs 9.25 to win.
It's noticeable, Suzanne, that she's looked really happy all the way through this competition.
Yeah, she has.
She's smiling and grinning all over the place. Might have something to do with the fact that she's going back to Bulgaria after this competition to get married to the young man who's now her coach. So that's a sort of good, happy ending to this afternoon's gymnastics.
It certainly is. Bianca Panova, Jackie, what can one say? She really has performed marvellously. She hasn't made any mistakes, and she just exudes so much energy, doesn't she, in all her routines?
Yeah, she's so confident now. She's hard to believe she's the same girl that went back from the Seoul Olympics in tears because she'd done so badly, was thrown out of the Bulgarian team and went home and trained in secret and is now right back at the top. Difficult to see really where the judges will be able to take any marks away from her at all on that routine. It was so precise.
And now to our final competitor, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautifully controlled double pirouette to finish in a balance.
International for 1989. Would you please welcome...
And that was a neat throw there. Bounced the ribbon stick before she actually threw it. And 9.95 her score. That means at least 2 of the judges have given her a 10. Excellent stuff from Panova.
So, Bianca Panova tops a superb competition with that magnificent score of 9.95. She wins all the exercises and forces Oksana Kostina into second place yet again. Absolutely no doubt about the top 2 then, with Atha Liberio in a comfortable 3rd place. Viva Seifert tied for 6th place, but I'm sure she'll be disappointed after that bad ribbon exercise. And our other British girl, Debbie Southwick, finishing in 9th position.
From Bulgaria,
So, Bianca Panova wins the Daily Mirror Rhythmic Gymnastics International for the 2nd time, and what a marvellous display she's put on for all of us.
Now my great pleasure to invite the Director of Publicity for the Daily Mirror.
And here you see her receiving a magnificent trophy, which is crafted in Royal Dalton, China.
And Mr. Bill Slater over here.
There you go. Bianca won here in 1986. She's won again here in 1989. We've enjoyed the competition. We hope you've enjoyed the competition. Join us again soon. Goodbye from the Wembley Conference Centre.